Today, we are going to understand FastPath. So let me write down the title for this video, Azure ExpressRoute FastPath. So in order to understand the FastPath, because it's not some huge configuration, it's a very simple and small configuration, right? So what we need to do, first we need to understand the concept behind it. For example, this is our on-premises and we all will be able to understand. And this is our Azure Virtual Network. Okay, let me make it blue. This is our Azure Virtual Network, and that was on-premises, on-prem, quickly on-prem, and this is Azure Virtual Network, or we could say it's our Hub Virtual Network, Azure Hub Virtual Network. Why Hub? Because usually we have gateway, firewall, bash, and all those kind of stuff in the Hub Virtual Network where we have the shared services. It's the most utilized topology in Azure hybrid environment, right? But the idea for this video is understanding the fast path. So we are sticking with the most generalized architecture. And we have a couple of things that we should be aware of. There is, let's suppose this is customer edge routers. These are customer edge routers. This is service providers edge routers. These are two routers, pair of two, way more than two. And we have, if you remember the previous architecture, here is the Microsoft Meet Me location. Behind this, the Azure is, right? Just for the sake of architecture, let me put it here. All right, now let me quickly name them. This is our customer router. Okay, this is service providers router or partners router. Okay, this is Microsoft Edge router, right? So we have this clarity as of now. Now we have already learned this connects to this, right? And this connects to this. And here we create something called circuit, right? And here we have something called gateway. This is our express route gateway, gateway, express route gateway. And that's how the connection gets created, because here we have something called circuit. We create circuit. Circuit has the information of this edge, this and this. Who is the provider, how much is the speed, that information is in the circuit. So let me just to show here, this is the, here is the circuit, and that we create the connection. This piece is connection, where we connect our gateway through the circuit. Okay, and once this connection is established, now whosoever is here, let's suppose there is a virtual machine right here, they can send traffic to this express route via this gateway to the resources sitting behind this virtual network or behind this uh, gateway. Now in idle situation, the usual resources are in the separate virtual network, Azure Virtual Network. That could be spoke virtual network. Let's call it a spoke VNet. And we have paired this VNet with the hub. This is peering. and we have this virtual machine sitting here. This is a VM. Okay, now here it becomes interesting. This is on-premises VM. Now let's suppose this VM wants to talk to this VM. The traffic will flow like this. Through this tunnel or express route, it will go like this. All clear, all set. Now what happens is fast path. Fast path happens, which means something is going to change here because path is going to change here. So first let's understand what is fast path so that I could show you in this architecture what changes. All right, so let me remove this and help you understand the fast path. So FastPath is a feature of ExpressRoute or Azure ExpressRoute that enables direct, high performance, low latency connections between your on-premises network and Azure Virtual Network. This is what it is. So Azure FastPath enables direct high performance low latency connections between on-premises and Azure Virtual Network. When we enable FastPath, your traffic bypasses the ExpressRoute Virtual Network Gateway and goes straight to the virtual network or VM. This means fewer hops, reduced latency, and better performance. So if you understand this, what is uh, fast path, you will understand fast path helps us or enables direct high performance and low latency connection between on-premises virtual machine and Azure virtual machine. But how exactly it does that? By bypassing the gateway or express route gateway. So how exactly this will happen? Now the traffic will flow like this when we enable the fast path. It will go till here because here this will be aware. We need not to send it like the usual way, but we need to send it directly to the VM. If we send it directly to the VM, this hop is gone, so number of hops will be less. Now gateway also do the little processing, which is also not needed now. It's directly going to the VM, so it is reducing the latency and giving you the better performance, right? So we have understood what is fast path and how exactly it creates its magic. Think of it as a shortcut for your traffic, taking the most efficient path to Azure virtual machines while skipping unnecessary processing at the gateway. Now, the point is why we should use it, right? And where we enable it. The first point is we enable this. We enable fast path, just a checkbox, but a lot of things we need to be consider that we'll be talking in this video at the connection. We enable this at the when we create connections. So let me take this enable fast path in the connection field here. We enable it in the connection when we create the connection. I'll show you. All right, now the point is everything was running fine. Why we should use fast path? what it was not happening earlier. A lot of answer is already there in how, oh sorry, in who, what FastPath is. But still, for the sake of understanding, sake of the conversation that we will have with our customer at the time when we'll be talking about FastPath, there are some key points we should be well versed in, we should be aware of. The first is, if you have a latency sensitive workloads like real-time data processing or financial transaction, FastPath will help you. ExpressRoute Gateway already providing you a wonderful speed, low latency, but it can go further. FastPath reduces delays a lot by passing the gateway. So performance, rather I should write latency sensitive workloads. And I should write the example as well, real-time data processing, just for the understanding, or financial transaction, which is so sensitive. Financial transaction. All right. Now, for data intensive tasks like backups, database replication, or large scale analytics, FastPath supports high speed connection up to 100 Gbps with ExpressRoute Direct, and it is bypassing gateway, so you'll get high performant, uh, uh, low latency and high throughput, right? So if you have data intensive task, you should go for high throughput path, and this is provided by FastPath. And by simplifying the route, your data takes uh, directly to the where it's supposed to go, and FastPath ensures most predictable performance. So you could also say reliability, right? And by reducing gateway processing, you free up resources, which improves the overall system efficiency. Where on the gateway processing not needed. So bottleneck at gateway processing removed or reduced, right? So these are certain situations we just discussed, which will help us uh, understand when we should opt for FastPath. Why not just go for it? Because there are certain things that we should be uh, aware of when we are planning FastPath. It's not, it is a simple like a checkbox, but there are certain things you should be aware of in the configuration. The very first thing is the security. Why I'm saying that? Because in most of the architecture in hub, we have the shared services as we are talking. So maybe we have here firewall as well. Okay, let's suppose this is the firewall. And now as you see, our traffic is going like this and bypassing this and going here directly. So this traffic is not going to the firewall for the scanning or filtering purpose, inspection purposes. So if you doing fast path, you need to be doing something so that traffic will bypass the gateway but will go to the firewall and come to the VM, right? So you need to do BGP force routing, okay, which will help you do or achieve this architecture if you like to move your traffic to the firewall and then to the VM. Because if you planning to apply UDR on the gateway, like whatever traffic is coming from here, it should go through the firewall. This will not applicable on the fast path because fast path is directly moving from this router to this VM, right? So, but BGP forced link could force routing could help you here. So you have to think from that perspective as well, that all these routes of this VM need to publish here so that they'll be aware it will only receive traffic from here and it should go like this. And you could also take the help of UDRs at certain places to send traffic to the firewall or the NVA if you're using. The very first thing is this, so I should mention here uh, considerations when implementing FastPath. The very first is the security considerations, firewall or NVA, use BGP or UDRs at certain places. Now, the second thing is supported features you should be aware, because it's not like everything is supported, right? So because it does not support PaaS services, you cannot send traffic to the PaaS services like Azure Storage or SQL. Now you'll be wondering, what if we do the private endpoint, private link for those services? Then it will be inside our virtual network. In that case, still there are limitations. It's not just a work with the private link as well. Okay. Then what if you have a virtual machine behind the internal load balancers or load balancers? It will not work with this fast path. In that situation, the traffic will move directly to the gateway and then come to the VM if one of these services are there in the Azure subscription. So you need to be aware of supported features or limitations. Now there are a few things. If you use hub and spoke architecture and show your virtual networks are paired correctly and the gateway transit is not required in certain situations, for example, this is the circuit and you have another hub here, right? And it is connected to this hub as well. In that situation, you should not allow gateway transit in one of them. And if this virtual network, there is another virtual network here connected to this and this, in that situation, gateway transit not allowed, otherwise there would be a connectivity issue, right? So you need to be aware of that. So I should mention here gateway transit in case of multiple hub and spoke. So we should be aware of that information. Now, one more thing, which is the IP addresses. All right, what are these? FastPath has specific IP address limits depending on the circuit type. For example, if this circuit is something like direct supports 100 Gbps, then it supports 200,000 IPs. If it is direct 10 Gbps, then it is 100,000. But it is, if exactly like this service provider ExpressRoute, then it supports only 25,000 IPs. If it is going beyond that, then the traffic will not bypass the gateway, it will go through the gateway like the usual way, right? So these are the limitations of a fast path. Now, just for the let's take a use case example and then close the video. I hope this will help us to just cement our knowledge. So let's imagine a media company transferring. This is the media company here, and this is transferring some 4K videos, 4K video footage daily to Azure VMs for processing here. All the data will come here for the processing. Now, without FastPath, the traffic would pass through the gateway right here, introducing delays. With FastPath, it will bypass gateway and flows directly to the Azure VM hosting the video processing tools. The result, faster uploads, reduced latency, and improved performance. This makes FastPath a game changer for latency sensitive and data intensive workloads. Right? Now, when we should avoid FastPath? Well, if We want traffic inspection at the gateway. We should avoid FastPath because there are so many other configurations we need to apply. Or if you want through the gateway, right? And if you want to access PaaS services or private links, we should avoid it if that's only we are running, for example. And if we have a complex hub and spoke setup requiring gateway transits, then this will not work. Even if you enable, it will still send the data directly to the gateway, right? So all these information that I'm sharing is connected to each other, right? If you see. So to sum up, Azure ExpressRoute FastPath is a must-have for scenarios requiring high performance, low latency, and direct connectivity to Azure VMs. While it is not a one-size-fits-all solution, understanding its use cases, right? Use cases and limitation will help you make the right choice for your hybrid or cloud-first workloads. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Azure insights. I hope it was informative. Well, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.